Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Club Show. So, Mike Benz, who is a former State Department official who worked on a cybersecurity and internet policy during Trump's first tenure, gave a good evidence on how U.S. agencies and many affiliated NGOs did a regime change in Bangladesh. This video is all about that, and these claims are not my personal claims. It all goes to Mike Benz. So, without wasting time, let's get started. So Mike Benz has presented evidence suggesting that the US has a significant strategic interest in Bangladesh. Why? It's all about countering Chinese influence. The US wanted to establish a military base, but the current Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina wasn't on board. According to Benz, this led US policymakers to consider regime change as a viable strategy. This wasn't just a rogue operation, it was a coordinated effort across the State Department, White House, and National Security Council, all aiming to overthrow Hasina's government. Now, how do you destabilize a country from outside? Benz points to leaked documents from the Grey Zone, which details how groups like the National Endowment for Democracy, through its arms, the National Democratic Institute and the International Republican Institute, have been involved. In 2019 and 2020, after failing to back the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, BNP, they shifted their tactics. They proposed a plan to, quote, destabilize Bangladesh politics by engaging with a network of 70 pro-democracy activists, 304 key informants, and by exploiting cultural and ethnic divides. And here it gets even more interesting, or probably disturbing, depending on how you look at it. The US government targeted groups like the LGBT community, ethnic minorities, and young students. They even used something as innocuous as rap music to influence public sentiments. US taxpayers' funds went into producing songs and music videos aimed at encouraging street protests. One song was specifically designed to sow distrust towards the government, in a classic case of soft power, but with a twist that feels more like a manipulation. Now, according to my personal observation, one of the most important and notable thing about all this was that the US government carefully planted hate against the Hindu population in Bangladesh and the country India. Hundreds of people from minority groups were killed and their properties were sacked after Hasina's government was overthrown. There was a complete radicalization of Bangladesh's socio-political and religious discourse over the period of time. This clearly shows that the US purposefully seeded anti-Hindu and anti-India discourse in Bangladesh. Now the question is, who's going to pay the compensation for all the losses suffered by the minorities of Bangladesh? Overall, Mike Benz was targeting an organization called USAID. And according to Mike Benz, USAID is directly involved in destabilizing and destroying Bangladesh. And all this was done on US taxpayers' money without letting an average American know about all this. Now, look at this chart. It shows how much foreign aid money was received by Bangladesh. If you notice, from 2010 onward, there's a marked increase in foreign aid with a steep rise starting around 2015, peaking at over $5 billion by 2022. This investment was due to strategic importance with regards to China and also India. US aid was heavily invested in this funding. So this is basically overview of how the US funded regime change in Bangladesh. And by the way, Bangladesh regime change is the most successful regime change. If we look at the population, Bangladesh population is close to 170 million. All this didn't happen overnight. It was a long-term investment, but ultimately it led to massive chaos and collapse of Bangladesh's future. Today, Bangladesh is struggling to stabilize itself. Inflation is at an all-time high and society is fractured beyond repair. There's more to it. Let me know in comments if you want me to explain things in further details. And if you found this insightful, then please like, share, and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. See you again. Peace out.